Yesterday celebrated National Science Day. We were told that it is Nobel Prize. Sir C.V. Raman got, the optics-based research, the path-breaking research he has carried out and got the Nobel Prize. And we all celebrate, every year we are celebrating. I do celebrate this. But I look at it in a very different way. Yes, he has done a path-breaking research. Optics, dispersion of light, wavelength change, medium, frequency, bandwidth, all these things he established. That's it. Then, after 20 years, a new deep technology develops, throws onto our face. People talk about multispectral imaging processing, hyperspectral. Now they are migrating to image processing, spectral image processing. The fundamental research is what Dr. Sir C.V. Raman has done. But the technology translation happened somewhere else. Now, it is almost 100 billion worth of the business. Radial spectrometer, you take it. Our satellites are having spectral image sensors. Now, that technology now non-invasively characterize the material, explore the minerals. Even they are applying into the medical health condition of crops, forests, humans. I mean, it has gone into that level. To process that kind of data, which is 256 bands, and then 0 to 14 nm, the EM spectrum. The high performance computers are being used, but that is the deep technology now. Are we there in that? Yes, we are there. DSC initiated a program in that. So I look into that as a missed opportunity or a lost opportunity. We have done the fundamental research, but somehow we stopped there, and then someone picked it up, translated into a technology, and now we became users of the technology. We are importing all that spectral radiometers from abroad. This is the dichotomy. Well, that is how I celebrate National Science Day. Well, coming into the industry problems, people are talking about industry as a problem, government has a problem, academia has got a expertise. Now we have to combine these things to address those problems. Well, no problem can be addressed by a single discipline. We require multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research. That's why when I was a mission director of NMICPS, intentionally I kept the name Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical Systems. The time Professor Ashutosh Sharma told, why interdisciplinary you are bringing? So our cyber physical system itself is interdisciplinary, but that word is essential for me to get it. Right from the DPR to EFC to cabinet note, everything we processed, we established some 25 technology innovation hubs. Now, I will not get into those technological areas, I promise you. Also, we are involved in preparing of a detailed project report on quantum technologies. Now, it is called National Quantum Mission. Prepared EFC, went up to the cabinet note level, then I superannuated, I came out. Okay, there are so many things we have done, Indian digital heritage, okay, and then wetland management, so many things as part of the DSC we have done it. But it's all require interdisciplinary research. Without that, we are going to go anywhere. Okay, so better to come into the groups than only to, that should happen from the BTech student project level onwards. Mechanical, electrical, electronics, students should come together, identify an interdisciplinary or an industry problem, work towards their 6 months projects, then only that culture will come. Unless otherwise we inculcate that at the BTech level, it's not going to happen. Now, we talked about so many technologies last 2 days, deep technologies. You take all this technology, somewhere, it will come and converge, either energy security, food security, or the country security, or water security. Somewhere, these are the fundamental principles on which all this technology will come and converge. Am I wrong? You take any technology. Unless otherwise, it connects to the social problem, social issues, country's problem, then there is no meaning for those technologies. So instead of talking on to the deep technologies, I thought I pick up a type of a application area, water. That's what I'm going to concentrate. Water is what? A simple, what is deep technology in this? But it is my passion. I am not a water specialist, hydrologist. Okay, I have never done any work in the water or these things. My observation, I'm a keen observer. I observe the systems, I connect the systems, and I will see how the things are happening. So that passion driven me to study on water. Okay, next I have only 5-6 slides. I'm going to dwell upon maybe half an hour, not more than that, about the water in the country. This one? This one, huh? Down, huh? Yeah. Everybody knows. I download it from Google. I mean, it's not my map, okay? Survey of India map it is. So this is, if you look at the India map, you see the complete river systems. The river system, how they are flowing, which direction they are flowing, major rivers I am talking about. And the water for these entire systems is the monsoons. Okay, the monsoon, what is the volume of water that we get every year through the rainfall and other these things? Roughly around 9,000 millimeter, 9,000 to something. 9,000 millimeters of rainfall in a year for the entire country. I'm not talking about Brahmaputra, which is coming from and then going into the Bangladesh. So those type of things I'm not testing. Okay, as a monsoon system, we are getting that much of water in the country, entire country. Some water get converted into snow and falls into the Himalayas, some get into the hills and then get accumulated. The entire river system formed based on either glaciers or from the mountains. The northern side, it is completely the glaciers. These are all perennial rivers. One of the best is the Ganges. And then southern peninsula, we have got western Ghats and eastern Ghats. When monsoon get rainfalls, and then the rivers become Kaveri or Godavari or Krishna. These are all becoming the 3 months, 4 months, or 5 months. It start flowing it. Okay. Now this is the river system. What we are having, and that is the rainfall. These are all the broad parameters that we can talk today. If you look into these systems, you see, this entire region is semi-arid region. Rajasthan, some parts of Haryana, some parts of Madhya Pradesh, and some parts of, and then come to Vidarbha, then come to what they call Dakshin Kannada, Eastern Karnataka, North Karnataka, Rayalaseema, and some parts of These are all called semi-arid regions. In semi-arid regions, you will find something like 55 to 65 centimeters of rainfall in a year. Okay, at the same time, if you look at here, where Western Ghats are there, the Kerala coast, where the annual rainfall is around 3,000 millimeters. So, one side of the Western Ghats, you will have 3,000 millimeters of rainfall. The other side, it is less than 600 millimeters of rainfall. See the dichotomy. Here the people are craving for water. The other side, the rainfall happens and gets into Arabian Sea. Of course, there are utilization also, but the most of the water gets into the Arabian Sea. Friends, is there any possibility that we can tap the 3,000 millimeters of rainfall, at least 10%, can you bring it to the other side? Beyond, it can be done. But why it was not done till now? The question. But there are people who has done it, not now. 1883, Anderson, the Periyar Dam. What Periyar Dam was, it is in Kerala and Tamil Nadu border. The Anderson was an engineer in Madras Efforts. He thought that why I cannot tap this water, put a tunnel this side and take it to the Periyar Dam. So catchment area is this side and the Periyar Dam is the other side. He put a tunnel and brought the water to the other side. The feeding comes from the Western Ghats. I'm talking about 1883. Now, the tunneling technology, all the metros we are using and so many places we are using in the exploration of minerals and other things, tunneling technology, machinery, everything evolved so much. Can we do the same thing here? Wherever possible. So some feasibility studies has to be done. Somebody has to go and study the area, study the slopes, study the topography, and bring out a feasible, implementable model. Even one district gets a type of a water, that's good enough. We have done it. Okay, so this is another major, dichotomy here. Optimization of water resources. Yes, I know population is increasing, industrial usage is increasing, our crop arable area is increasing, but are we doing enough to conserve the water? When you say 9,000 millimeters of rainfall happening in the 3-4 months in a year, how much we are tapping, how much you are saving, and how much you are letting into the ocean. Of course, it has to be let down into the ocean also, otherwise, the oceans will not survive. So, what is the optimum levels? Simulation studies can be done. Okay, the vast computers are there. Different disciplines has to come and study this area. GIS evolved, remote sensing is available. GPRS system technologies are coming up. Hydrological models are available. We are not living in 1883, where he himself went on a horse and then studied the area and brought that particular thing into this thing and he implemented this thing. Okay, that's a different thing, what he faced the music in front of, East India Company, that is a different thing. Okay, but he has done it. Now, in the process, I also studied some of the semi-arid regions. Great civilizations came up. Indraprastha, this thing, Rajasthan, everywhere, that entire semi-arid region is a flourishing civilizations. Without water, how they have flourished? I used to ask this question. Okay, now, as I told, the rainfall in semi-arid region ranging from 50 to 70 centimeters per annum. Area is very vast. How they have, managed? Friends, they have done a thing called Bowlies. It is a step well system. You will find in Rajasthan and Bundelkhand, Vidarbha, and as well as some parts of Maharashtra, plus up to, Maharashtra, Karnataka. What they have done, they identified faults in the system and identified the exact location where these Bowlies are to be constructed. There is no GPS, there is no remote sensing, nothing. They aligned the Bowlies exactly where the maximum recharge of the earth can take place. It's a millimeter accuracy. For example, you go to Delhi, in Connaught Place you have Raja Agrasen Bowli. It will look something like this. It is like this. Okay, this structure has a deep well, step well, and collects the water surrounding 1 or 2 kilometers radius, and then recharges the earth. And the best part is, it is auto desilting mechanism is available in this. Only pure water will get into. There are other structures beyond this Bowli where it will filters mud and other things coming there actually. And only water gets in and then taking the recharge. And people will step in and take the water and meet their daily requirements. Friends, in Delhi, because I have studied a great amount of, in the Bowlies, there are around 108 Bowlies where in South Delhi alone. In fact, it is only in South Delhi. Start from Qutub Minar, Arkepuram, and this Connaught Place and surrounding areas. Okay, they also studied there are paleo channels. Once you recharge the South Delhi, water reaches to east and west and other channels. So they are not constructed any Bowlies in other parts of the thing, only in South Delhi area. And this happened by Rajput kings, Anangapal and beyond that, maybe thousands of years back, because they know they are living in an arid region, water is very important, and they have to conserve the water and maintain the water table of the region. With this, till 1980, 1985, 1990, the water table in Delhi used to be 15 to 20 feet. Okay, today, it is beyond 80, 90 feet. It's going beyond that. Some of the big trees, which are deep-rooted only survive, other trees may go off. Friends, the civilization survived because of water, they thrived because of water, and perished because of water. This is the message that the history gives to us. They realized it, and they constructed it. Now, because of various destructions and other things, and out of 108, maybe around 10 or 15 are there, remaining some construction, entire bowl is surrounded by the big apartments, no water is going there, and the water something like looks like this green. That means you can imagine what is the pollution level it is happens. Okay, till 1960, people used to go take the water from there. It's gone now. No water is coming there. Everything is obstructed. Flyovers constructed, nothing is coming. And historically, up to 12th and the 13th century, it was all live. And then something happened in between. Then again, there is one king who came as a Shashasuri, okay, who revived all these things and this thing. But again, it went out to these things. Now, can we revive this? Is it possible? Now it is going into the beyond 80, 90 feet of, the groundwater. We will say, let it go, how does it matter? We are getting water at our taps. So, but everything is connected, boss. Trees are connected, bacteria is connected, flora, fauna, everything is connected. The moment bacteria is out of our system, within 20 years, human civilization will go off. So, everything is connected. Then comes, I came down, I studied on Kaveri, most of the people, you may be knowing it, a grand anecut, a structure which was constructed 2,500 years back by Karikala Choladan king, early Cholas. 2,500 years back, still it is running and serving the people. I don't know any structure in the world which is as old as this in terms of water harvesting and recharging, which is still running on the earth. No desilting, no construction, nothing was done. It is running. I went through the entire region, studied the location, studied its the design aspects. Amazed. No deep technology will address this kind of massive problems. Without that anecut, Kaveri water will go and drain into the Bay of Bengal. That was the case. He decided, let me utilize this water. What he has done is a simple, it's not a rocket science. I drawn this map not to scale or this thing, just depiction, what I have seen, what I understood. Okay. So, this is where Kaveri entering into Tamil Nadu. Okay. And it's a very wide here, and then as it supposed to enter into the Tamil Nadu, it becomes narrow. And this is the location where they have got a grand anecut. Grand anecut, nothing but a check dam in modern terminologies. But the location they identified, the accurate location is amazing. Even the check dam is constructed 30 feet below or 30 feet above, it would have washed off, long back. But alignment exactly does thing. And is an engineering marvel. The material they have used in this is day by day it is strengthening instead of loosening. I myself don't know any material, construction material, which is becoming strengthening day by day and surviving for 2,500 years and still serving the purpose. And the Kaveri River has not changed the course. In one of the Rigvedic hymns, there is a saying, hymn, they say that any river that changes its course from south to north, that particular point never changed for the last 20,000 years. Example, Kashi, Hampi, and this point. Kashi never changed its course, that particular point. Hampi also, now it is called Kishkinda in Ramayana, never changed. Tungabhadra takes from south to north. And this is the point. How the geologist and other people connected to this system and created a model, and then they constructed the cities. See, construction of our cities is not that, it goes a lot of technologies in that. Because Ganges changes, course every year. But in Kashi, it never changed. Tungabhadra changes its course everywhere, but not in Hampi. Similarly, Kaveri also never changed its course. Otherwise, 2,500 years back, how that structure will work? Now, that is the construction here. And the water comes here and goes left side and as well as right side, and excess water flows. Okay, they just obstructed the speed, diverted into 3 directions. Okay, nothing else. No gears, nothing, simple structure. And this structure goes into the irrigation, and this here, it connected into the, what you call, Koleram. There is a river. Okay, and from here, they constructed 2 bounds both the sides for 40 kilometers, so that its speed can be reduced. And here, they have got Kallanai. Kal means stone, Anai means obstruction. Now, from here, the water is diverted into 3 directions. One here, one here, one here, and then it goes. And then it gets into your complete Anikat regions where lakes, ponds, and small wells, and the temple tanks, everything is filled. The excess water again goes into the Bay of Bengal. That's how the entire deltaic system is built. And here, it is a zero sedimentation canal, because there is no sedimentation is happening here. There is no desiltation is required. There is an auto desiltation process inbuilt in this structure. You take any of the river canals, every year we have to go for a desilt it so that water can flow. That auto desilting system is built here. Here, the water goes into the, Koleram, excess water. And you see the sign, a small structure here. There is a small temple also on that, small structure. When the forcefully water comes in this direction, it takes a rotation through because of this structure and moves all the sand accumulated here into the Koleram. The auto rotation and lifts the sand, throws into the Koleram, and then that goes into the places. So till now, no desiltation was done on this river. Auto structure, everything is automated. How they built this structure is amazing. Oh, in between, there is a temple, there's an island, all those things are there. But I was interested in this aspect. Now, what type of studies can be done on this? What type of material they used in this? And each boulder here weighs 250 tons minimum. And there are 20-30 boulders, finely polished, buried there. How they have buried, how they have lifted. I talked to some of the locals. They have given a very interesting, very simple. It's not rocket science. It's a simple psychological and as well as social things. They have done it beautifully. There is no heavy machinery. If you go and stand in the beach, the water comes and goes below your feet. What happens? You will become imbalanced, no? You will become imbalanced or not? Because the sand is removed from your arm below your feet so that you will become imbalanced. Same thing they have used there. They put a 250 ton stone there, and water goes below that, and then vacuum creates, and the stone goes down. One goes down, and then after that, another they will bring it, and then they buried it. Of course, we talked about Periada, Anderson. Still, the case is going on between Anderson family and the Queen of England, because he utilized some of the governmental funds for construction of this tunnel. Therefore, case is against the crown. There's still families running around the pillar, the post. Okay, after 100, 200 years. Now then comes the Buckingham Canal. It was constructed during 1830 or 1840. It starts from Kakinada and goes up to Chidambaram. It is a flood preventing structure. Okay, because entire east coast is flood prone, therefore it was created that, number one. Number two, it is used as a transportation, the cheap transportation between Vijayawada and Madras. Okay, and a lot of trade used to happen between these things. And that Buckingham Canal, up to 80% still it is there. Only 20% where there are obstructions or other thing, it is not happening. But again, the cotton, when he was, I will come to that later. So this, Buckingham Canal worked like a lifeline for entire East Coast for transportation and as well as salt transport. I mean, so many business activities. Now it is defunct. Okay. I will spend another 2 minutes here. How much time? You warn me. See, this structure, Chola, 2,500 years old, is all working fine. And there is another interesting, engineer in the Madras Affairs called Sir Arthur Cotton. When he came, how much time? I will stop here. Thank you. Then take it. So, when Sir Arthur Cotton joined as a, in Madras Regiment, Madras Affairs, he was posted in Tanjavur at the age of 16. So, he studied the structure for the next 20 years. He was amazed how the things are happening. And nothing, in Europe of this scale and as well as, the strength. He studied for next 20 years. And he was looking for similar location where he can replicate the experiment. So he studied the entire East Coast and find out Dhavaleshwaram as the point where he can replicate it actually. Basically, Sir Arthur Cotton replicated what Cholas done 2,500 years back. In 1883, he replicated on Godavari. And again, there is a case against him because the total estimated cost by the East India Company was 67,000 rupees at that time. But he overspent 1,25,000. Therefore, that extra money, he literally went to the villages, begged the money, borrowed the money, and filled it. But still, case is there, and he was court-martialed. That is different question. Okay, so the background for the Dhavaleshwaram or Godavari barrage is Cholas. Now, this is what our Baulis, you take it, or you take Periyar Dam, or you take it, our Grand Anicut, and you come to the Dhavaleshwaram. These are all complete the ecosystem, water ecosystem, I call it as. And Cotton also suggested how the entire Indian lake system could be connected and optimized. At that time, it was United India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, everything was part of it. And he studied and then he created the cotton maps, which is available on Survey of India website. You go and take it. Okay, he identified the location where the check dams has to be constructed. Well, now there is an interesting case, the Kolleru. Kolleru is something like 900 square kilometer area, wetland. Average depth is 7 feet. It is between Krishna and Godavari. One side it is hills, the other side Bay of Bengal. It is a freshwater lake. Okay. and a huge lake. Yeah. So, one side you will find hills. The distance between hills and the Bay of Bengal is around 200 kilometers. One side is Godavari, another side is Krishna. Okay, and this is the Kolleru, rough sketch, don't sue me. And there are various channels that is coming and joining into the Kolleru from Godavari and as well as Krishna from the hills. These are all inlets to the Kolleru. Okay, the total area as per the 1901 survey, the area is 901 square kilometers. Okay. And the excess water, because average is 7 feet, the excess water is to be drained into the Bay of Bengal by a thing called Uputeru. It goes from here, it takes meandering, and finally joins Bay of Bengal. The problem is, late 19th or 20th centuries, the people started using, what you call growing the fish. Okay, for fish, they require, boundaries. They construct a lot of boundaries here. They never allowed any of this water getting into the lake. Okay, with that what happened? All this Yeluru, Giluru, all these fellows started flooding. So they complained to the government saying that, these lakes are getting flooded, so therefore something has to be done. So there came someone like us, a scientist. He studied it for 3 months, and he found that this is the culprit. This fellow is taking a lot of time to drain the water into the Bay of Bengal, and that is not a good idea. Let us put a straight cut. And then he dig a straight cut and connected this right to the Bay of Bengal, and flooding problem resolved. Whenever there is excess water, straight get into the Bay of Bengal. No flooding, everything was happy. But what happened? During the monsoon season, the flood water is going. The off season, the saline water got into the lake. The entire Kolleru became saline. There is aquifers below. The people put the bore wells and brought the water into the lake for other cultivation purposes. When the pure water gone, the salt water and settled into the aquifers, the entire region became salted. Now, in the entire region, East and West Godavari, there is no drinking water, most of the places. Okay. And this becomes salted. And this river system, the drainage system, slowly moving towards this. The entire Lankas here, the coconut and other things, getting washed off. The nature is trying to connect this. But what we have done, slowly the tides are closing this mouth. They are trying to close this nature. But we are doing dredging and opening it again. Boss, is this a man-made disaster or natural disaster? I don't know. Or a scientific disaster. Solutions, where it has to come from. From us, because we are the creators of the problem, and solutions we have to evolve. Thank you.